Hey guys, and welcome to a super special episode of Panic Attacking. I'm Steven Rogers.
I'm Andrew Chavone. Oh my God, guys. This is so amazing.
We just recorded it and couldn't be happier. Special guest Brian Regan was on, and it was amazing.
Yeah, Brian Regan has Netflix specials. He's been the funniest comedian for, 30 years?
Yeah, he's been doing it for a super long time. Like his special, I Walked on the Moon, Brian Regan Live. There's so many great specials out there that he made. And also an anxious guy.
Yeah, and we get into that. We talk about...
line anxiety.
Yeah, I just blanked.
I saw you. You're still coming down from recording.
Yeah, it was so funny.
It was so great.
It was so good. I'm jealous that you guys get to listen to it for the first time. Because I lived it.
Oh, we had such a great time.
And what else? Traffic and...
lines, traffic, losing things in the trash.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, that's funny.
It's really fun, and as you will learn by the end of the episode, we're going to have him back again.
Yeah, he wants to do it again.
So this is great. Also, as always, please send us your topics. And if you're new to the podcast because you're listening first time because of Brian, please send us what makes you anxious. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
On Panic Attack Podcast on Instagram, Pod Panic Attack on Twitter, and panicattackingpodcast@gmail.com.
And please rate us on iTunes. We would love that. It would mean the world.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a review in like 20 days.
Well,
we're getting them like every day, and then they just stop.
Sit back, baby. They're coming.
Oh, come on, guys. This one. If you guys don't like it, don't give us a 1-star. Just move on with your lives.
Yeah, we're already worried enough.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
And as we have always been plugging, please come out to the Bank of New Hampshire stage December 20th. Andrew and I will both be doing stand-up, and we would love to have you there. And the tickets go on sale
October 10th at noon.
Yes.
And if we get enough listeners to come, we might do a live podcast.
We would definitely love to do that. It would be great.
Yeah, I'll bring the equipment just in case.
Okay, perfect.
Stay tuned for the music.
Stay tuned for Brian Regan, everybody.
Oh!
My heart starts beating really fast. I'm like sweating and trembling.
Me too.
Am I gonna die?
Yeah. I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Wow, you sound really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just bought that microphone, and the guy at the Guitar Center said it was really good.
Nice.
And he also told me a story I didn't want to hear about him playing in the 70s.
Really?
Yeah.
So you said, can you show me some microphones? And he said, in the 70s. I go, wow, that was quite a segue. Now we're talking about you and your life. I know a lot of people like that.
Are we recording?
We're recording, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
We're
okay.
On. This is a go.
Yeah. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Panic Attacking. I'm Steven Rogers.
I'm Andrew Chavone.
And we've got a...
It's the first time we had a guest, so I don't know how to intro.
Yeah, well, it's fine. We just...
Really? I'm the first guest?
You're the first guest.
Well, then I'm honored by that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should announce the guest's name.
That's next.
For the listeners.
Our guest is the guy that sold Andrew this microphone.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you, back in the 70s, no.
Our guest is the very funny, we're super happy to have him, Brian Regan.
Hey!
Oh, my God.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you for being a part of this.
Of course.
So this is Panic Attacking, where we talk about what bothered us or made us super anxious this week and kind of how we dealt with it. Mm-hmm. And Andrew's staring at me, so I'm first. I've been having chest pains.
Oh, wow, we're getting right into it.
Yeah, if you're looking at me.
Well, I want to say the how we set up.
Oh, God. We set up, I'm talking like we got done just now.
Yeah, we had this extension cord brought in. This thing is
Look
like
at that thing.
Military grade.
I'm pretty sure that's what they use to inflate circus tents.
Yeah. That's about right. That is the thickest extension cord that I've ever seen.
It weighed like 1,000 pounds.
I don't think there's an electrical appliance or anything electrical that needs that much power.
I think it's the Jolly Green Giant's iPhone, maybe.
I think that the casino's powered off now.
Yeah. That's what was plugged into, like, when they were launching rockets They had to plug that thing in
The
to
Apollo
launch
missions?
a rocket into outer space. They needed that much power.
Look at how much of it's not being used.
Is one of you guys going to have to do the thing where you wrap it around your elbow?
Yeah.
That whole thing?
I used to do that with the garden hose.
So we set up literally we were setting up in the other room and we didn't like the way the table was.
Well, we had to rearrange the entire green room over there, and I'm like, this isn't our building.
dragging tables and moving chairs.
Yeah.
Going into rooms, kicking people out.
Get out of here.
This is the biggest dressing room. This is for Earth, Wind, and Fire or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had we came in and turned all the lights out, and now it's 1 billion degrees in here.
It's so hot.
So, how many episodes have you guys done?
This is, I think, number 19 or 20.
Yeah, it's up there. So we started releasing them in May.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of anxiety
Oh, yeah.
that you guys have gone through.
Yes.
So you either have anxiety or you get anxious that you didn't have any anxiety to talk about.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's always bad.
It's always bad.
Usually,
So good is bad.
There's a good...
There's always an upside.
There's only an hour of good, but the rest of it's bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's sad.
But
I mean, sad that you can't just have pure joy.
oh yeah. Well,
You know what I mean?
we tried
But-
the Joy
but-
podcast. No one subscribed.
But there's an upside. If something bad happens to me, I'm like, I can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, that's true. Every time that something chaotic has happened to me, I'm like, I can't wait to talk to Andrew.
Wow.
But then we can't share stories until we record.
That's true.
I remember my mom saying something when I first got into comedy, and something horrible was happening to me. And she was learning that comedy,
Yeah.
was about bad things sometimes. And she was smiling. I wish I could remember what the horrific thing was. But she said, I guess because of what you're doing now, this could end up being like a funny routine. It's like, yes, maybe down the road, but I'm currently living the hell.
Yeah,
I'm currently living the hell of the experience.
You're stuck in a bear trap.
Yeah, your arms bent the wrong way.
She's like, this is hilarious.
It's hard for me to project how good of a closing routine this might be one day when right now I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like how you're watching somebody else in pain. You're like, haha, that's funny. But I guess
yeah, they call that Schadenfreude, isn't it?
no.
No?
You know what? I know that's supposed to be a philosophy or a theory that people like to laugh at each other's pain because they're not experiencing themselves, so
Right.
they can feel comfortable, like, at least it's not me. And I don't think I'm wired weirdly. I've never gotten joy out of anybody else's pain.
Me neither.
I
Yeah.
just don't. I just I don't want to see somebody, I don't know, going through a real difficult thing in life.
No, yeah, you have empathy, maybe.
Yeah, and I
Try
think
to
that's a big tribute to anxiety is empathy, because you're just feeding off other people's energy.
Yeah, if I watch the Saw movies and somebody gets cut, I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. Everyone else is like, yeah.
What did you think when you were putting it in the DVD player?
This movie Saw. I think it's a documentary.
I think I saw this coming.
I would just picture myself being the guy hurt.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh, that could happen to me. I could be in a mansion where a guy who's a puppet tortures people.
I haven't seen
That's the Muppet Show.
I haven't seen the motion picture trilogy.
Yeah.
Whatever the Saw is, but are there really people enjoying watching
Yes.
body parts get
Yeah.
sawed off?
Every time I'm in
How horrific. I mean, that's
I don't
terrible.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
they love it.
Every time I'm in the movie theater
Wow.
with my friends and the trailers come through and then the scary movie trailer comes on and they're like, ooh, I'm going to see that. And I'm like, well, they're so excited. They're like, oh man, I hope nobody gets away.
They're rooting for for Mike Myers or
Yeah.
the killer.
It's so, ugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they say that's why people laugh at people slipping on a banana peel. Seriously, because it's somebody not physical pain, but it's
Right.
like an emotional uncomfortableness that person is experiencing. That
Right.
person would be embarrassed because they slip on the banana peel,
Right.
and then other people see that and laugh. And that never made me laugh.
No, I'm always like, that happened to me last week. I slipped and I hurt myself.
I just never laughed at anybody slipping on a banana.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a high standard of humor, too. I mean, that's like a lowbrow banana peel. It's like...
And I've gone to a lot of festivals where all it is people slipping on banana peels.
Just pratfall after pratfall.
Just trying to get into the humor of it. And I just haven't been able to turn the corner. And everyone around me is like howling with laughter. But I'm just, I don't see it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's like the first comedy. You know how every comedy gets like harder and harder to...
Yeah.
Because you got to top it and everything. You can't see the same joke on a movie twice. So
Right.
The first movie probably just had a banana peel.
Right.
And the reviews were rave.
Did you see Banana Peel 2? It's not as
We
good.
have to change it to like a cantaloupe.
Yeah. I wonder what the first joke was. Like going back to, I don't know why I think nothing happened before cavemen, but at the start of time, caveman days.
Right. I'm
Remember
listening.
the day before cavemen when there was nothing? And then all of a sudden, poof, cavemen came into existence.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what made them laugh? What made them laugh?
Probably.
Like somebody making a silly spear that... This isn't part of my act, obviously, because, that misses an antelope. It goes off in a weird direction, and then cavemen...
They throw it handle first.
Yeah, you threw the spear wrong. Of course, they say it in caveman speak. I doubt they would be using English.
Oh, man.
But they had to laugh. They had to laugh back in caveman days. I just wonder what they laughed at.
I'm sure it was farts. That transcends.
Maybe. Bad elk.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
guy farts. They all laugh.
And then they're like, ugh. And then next thing you know, there's a caveman comedy club
Yeah.
called Fart.
sold out every weekend.
Sold out every week. Just a bunch of cavemen sitting around.
Two spear minimum.
Oh, well, we figured that out.
Yeah.
We should go to an anthropologist convention. I hope I'm using that word right. And explain to them that we figured out what cavemen would have laughed at.
Yeah.
And you're probably right.
Farts?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I bet you the first one they were scared of it.
Well, they literally have low brows. So
Low. That's right. It was lowbrow humor.
Oh, God.
Lowbrow fart humor. Oh, man. That's good.
all right. So what do you got?
So
We gotta move this along.
tell us why you were unhappy, Steve.
We're not gonna laugh, but we're gonna,
I was having heartburn for like a couple.
Oh, here comes the coffee.
No, that's the announcements for the show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was the coffee announcements.
Don't worry about that.
Get ready for banana peel humor. That's the announcement that they're giving to my audience.
Lower your brows. And
Lower your brows and get ready for Brian Regan banana peel lowbrow humor. Hope you like slippage.
Please fill out your fart comment cards.
Did you like the long, loud fart? The quick, sudden burst. Man, I'm getting anxiety filling out my fart comment card.
I've tried to start this story
I'm
twice.
sorry.
It's not even good.
Do you think cavemen had anxiety? Well, they ran from tigers all day
That's
or
what
whatever.
it is. It's fight or flight.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they say.
I guess, right.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had anxiety. I'm sure they had the whole spectrum of human emotions.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they're like, oh my God, I shook that other caveman's hand wrong.
I hope he didn't have a cold.
I forgot his name. He's only the second caveman.
There's only 3.
Where did I leave my club?
What are you working on over there? Fire?
Yeah.
All right, so let's hear.
So I've been getting heartburn, and I found out you can't run any symptoms you're having by your friends. It's the worst thing you can do because they only have their experiences, which are wrong, and then they just make you need to go. They make it worse because they're like, the big thing that bothers me is when you're not feeling well and somebody says it's stress.
Like an oversimplification? You mean it's an oversimplification?
That, and like, I'm already stressed, So why would my body add this to the equation?
The chest pains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been freaking out about that, and I went to the doctor, and we were only in there I was in there for 10 minutes. I was in there in the waiting room longer than I was in the room.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you're probably just having gas.
And then you go, I'm having stress.
Yeah.
You should be like, check me out at the Caveman Comedy Club and get a load of it.
I don't know.
So were you worried when you had the chest pains that it was maybe a heart condition?
I thought it was a heart
kind
condition.
Of thing, or?
And like...
You think the worst.
Yeah.
So.
I go to the worst possible scenario immediately. I'm not like, this is good news. I'm in agony. Yeah. I don't know. Are you uncomfortable at the doctor's? Do you get anxious?
I think I told you that the last time I went for my physical, the doctor was drinking Mountain Dew. Like, and I was like, oh my God.
And snorting Coke. Wow.
He was eating a Subway sandwich and was... He really was. I was like, oh my God.
He dropped a meatball, picked it off the floor and ate it.
And then he told me my cholesterol was high. I'm like...
While he's chewing on a meatball sub.
Exactly.
I don't care about your cholesterol.
I think he was projecting.
Yeah. It's really high. You really got to work on that. I guess when I'm at the doctor, that's when I feel the most comfortable because if anything is going to go wrong, what better place is there to be?
Right. Oh, true.
That's true.
You know, so whatever is wrong in the past, or if something goes wrong, I'm right there with the medical guy.
Yeah.
You know?
I do feel the best when I've made the appointment. So I've just been making appointments and not going.
Yeah.
I feel great.
I do feel accomplished. I hate the rescheduling, though. They give me... I feel like I'm ruining their whole plan for the week if I have to, like, cancel, you know.
They make you reschedule right as you're leaving, too. And,
they always want the follow-up.
Yeah, and I always feel like here. I guess this is part of worrying or anxiety. I worry that I come off as a big shot because I don't. When they schedule something 2 weeks out, I don't know if I'm on the road or not.
Right. Yeah.
And I have to say, well, I can't schedule this right now because I'm a big-time celebrity.
I'm a busy man.
No, I have to say I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
I'll have to call in because and then I feel weird.
Oh, they hate that. They're like, they want it now. They open the calendar. They like, they sell it like they're selling a Volkswagen.
Do you ask them, hey, are giant spotlights bad for migraines?
Yeah. I've been carrying too much money around. My back hurts.
Yeah.
Now, are we all supposed to have an anxiety thing?
Do you
all right, I have one.
Something happened this week?
Yes, please.
Recently, I broke my pinky toe.
Oh my God!
On the bus.
Okay.
And
did it close on it? The bus close?
The bus ran over me. No, I was. My driver doesn't like me.
Because you know how your bus will shrink and expand? And
it was already closed in.
Okay.
And there's a little part that sticks out, and I was walking while it was rolling, and anyway, I hit my pinky toe, and it broke.
Ouch.
So the healing process, the doctor said it might heal bone to bone, but it might not. And if it doesn't heal bone to bone, you're going to get like this bloody amorphous clot.
Oh God!
That will be there permanently between the two parts of the bone.
Oh my God!
Which is a fun thing to hear from a doctor, you know. And so when I went back, he said that it looks like it's healing pretty well, but it still hurts every time I try to go quickly or run.
Yeah.
So I'm worried that I can't run again for the rest of my life.
Wow.
So that's kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you do, it'll just turn into that amorphous blob.
Bloody amorphous bloody clot
Just
between the bones.
Just, toe growth.
Yeah, most people just have, all toe bone connections. Not me. I have a bloody amorphous clot between two toe bones.
Ew.
He's got two big toes on one foot.
Hey, that's you can't wear sandals ever again.
Right. Well, I mean, that's that's sort of an anxiety thing to go, I've run my whole life.
Right.
Yeah.
And now is that no longer part of my life?
That is scary.
I have like knee pain or I'm paranoid about it, so I do the bike. You know, I know you're a running man, but the bike, I feel like you don't have to move your toes that much.
That's true. And it's supposed to be just less stress, period, to do. Like biking is good and swimming is good.
Yeah.
They say running is actually bad for people.
Oh, really? Well,
on your knees and joints and everything.
On the bike, I'm getting things done. Like my hands are free. I'm like, typing jokes.
Easy to be false up.
Yeah. Drinking the dew.
Lighting up a Marlboro. You really do, like, you accomplish things while you're...
Yeah, I'll watch like a thing I have to watch, and I'll like read a script, and I'll do things while I'm biking because it takes my mind off the horrible pain of exercising.
That's good, though. So you get the thing that you don't really feel like doing out of the way.
Yeah.
And then you get something else done. It's like a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, if I could, I usually work out on my lunch break, so if I could actually eat while I do it, I'll be even more efficient, but I can't. It's be weird. I get weird looks at the gym. I
had a similar thing. I used to do brain surgery on people.
Like,
and while I'm doing the brain surgery, like, I got things I got to get done.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I can't work out after work. I'm too tired.
Exactly. So I'll do some of my errands while I'm performing brain surgery.
Oh my God.
Like I'll work on my calendar and make some phone calls. It's a win-win.
Oh my God.
What's been bothering you?
Oh, so this involves Steven too, but Monday, my girlfriend doesn't have pockets, so she...
like I'm supposed to know this?
Of
course I know.
I think girls...
Of course I know.
Like women clothing... Yeah, my girlfriend.
Everybody knows your girlfriend doesn't like pockets.
Well, like the women
Fire's hot. Andrew's girlfriend doesn't have pockets.
Of course. Didn't you get the prep sheet of the girlfriend facts?
I remember when I was a little kid, and I would be like, running out the door for school, and my mom...
When you could run.
Back when I could run. Back when I could run, and I was enjoying running. And my mom would yell, don't forget, Andrew's girlfriend doesn't like pockets. And at the time, like I didn't really know what that meant.
Oh my God!
But that's all making sense now.
Oh my God! No, it's I said, like women's clothes in general, they don't have pockets. I don't know.
Okay. You're slapping your knee like it did something wrong.
I can't. I'm laughing. I'm trying to not explode laughing. So it's like being transmitted to my arm.
So your girlfriend doesn't have pockets. Like everybody knew this already.
Everyone knew.
Stop telling us stuff we know.
If girls' clothes, I don't think they make them with pockets. I don't know why. Because they have purses, I guess. That's why.
True. Yeah.
Maybe it's like slimming if they don't have the pockets. I don't know why. Girls' clothes don't have pockets, but she, because of that, she doesn't carry cash. She just has a card that she puts in her wallet. So she wanted to get this falafel that cost like $5.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, can I have $10? Because I don't have any pockets or cash. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Right.
It's my last 10. So I give her that. And then she goes, she eats the falafel.
Can I interject? You said the falafel costs $5.
Yes.
Why didn't she ask for $5?
Exactly.
She's already taking advantage.
Because
I would like a $5 falafel. Can I have $10? Explain the math here.
I know.
She's like, and you're not getting I'm not getting you one.
Hey, are you getting me a falafel? I mean, why do you need $10?
I guess she wanted to keep the options open in case she wanted another one or a drink or something. So I was
hey,
like,
I could go for a piece of chewing gum. Can I have $55,000?
So me and Steven... So me and Steven are in this comedy club in our neighborhood, which is like so convenient. But so she goes outside to buy the falafel, and when she comes in, she doesn't have one, and she says that she ate it and threw away the wrapper or whatever. And I'm like, well, where's the chains? She has this scared look on her face, and she says, oh, I threw it in the trash by accident.
Wow.
So now, I have to decide how much is worth going through the trash. Is it $5?
That's funny.
I have to be like, I see people go through the trash all the time. I'm like, did their girlfriends throw away their money?
Let me guess, your girlfriend doesn't have pockets.
I'm going to add to your anxiety. There's another option. your girlfriend stole $5 from you.
But where would she hide it? She doesn't have pockets.
She's got it balled up in her hand.
Like a magic trick.
So she either threw it away by accident or she pocketed. Well, no, I guess you're right. She didn't pocket it.
Yeah.
So she
palmed it.
She palmed it.
Yeah.
You see another falafel sticking out of her shoe.
But I
And
really
a 5 out of the other shoe.
She made $5.
She didn't even buy food. She just went to the bank and put the $10 in her account.
Oh man.
So I was like, really? I mean, like, I'm not hurting for money, but I'm like, I can't. Something in my DNA is like, you can't just throw money in the trash. Like, I was really.
Yeah, it's throwing money away.
Yeah.
It's literally throwing money. You hear the investments. Throw money in the trash.
Good use of the word literally, because that is literally throwing money away.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, don't invest in Bitcoin. It's like throwing in. I almost said Boink coin. Don't invest in Bitcoin. I'm like, don't invest in falafel.
I guess you would also factor. What the heck?
The toilet just flushed by itself.
By itself.
Oh my god!
I'm hoping it's by itself. I'd hate to see some strange
figure emerge.
The strange figure emerge that had been in there all along.
He comes out. I heard you can't run.
I was actually back there using the bathroom and earlier, but
wait,
there was
you have a time delay flush system.
But no, there was like refuse in the toilet. Like,
wow,
like somebody didn't flush. Like, why would it? Do you know what I mean? Like,
we know that was as clear as your girlfriend not having pockets. We all knew.
I love the word refuse. That's. Mm-hmm.
He read the dictionary.
Even though you're using a very nice word, everyone is still envisioning something horrible.
Yeah, so there was
worse
stuff,
than Boink coin.
There was stuff back there. So why is it flushing now? I mean,
there's some person who is just at a big lever. We're at the Foxwoods Casino, and he just every 15 minutes he just pulls the lever, and every toilet on the premises flushes.
He's like, first I'm going to do the announcements for the show, and then I'm going
to pull this lever and get rid of all the unnecessary refuse.
He's like on a date. They're like, "What do?" I'm like, "Well, toilets, they don't flush themselves."
You're the lever guy.
Somebody has to do this.
Oh man. So
that's every automatic flusher that you see in the rest stop. There's actually a man behind there.
Yeah.
That's when people do the truck sign for the horn. They actually mean refuse.
Like people always wonder who gets the job of the executioner when somebody has to be executed.
Yeah.
Now everyone's going to wonder who's getting that job.
Yeah.
Who's pulling that lever?
There's like in the firing squads they would only give one bullet. I mean, it's getting pretty dark, but
no. Everybody got a bullet except one guy.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah. Everybody got a bullet except one guy, and then everyone could think, well, maybe I was the one who didn't have the bullet.
Wow. Right. So there's 5 flushers, and there's one that doesn't work. And,
right.
So
they can all sleep at night.
Yeah, they're like, my job's not flushing toilets. I just pull this lever.
Maybe that's not what I do for a living.
Oh my god.
Yeah, one of the levers actually does some kind of hospital life support.
Yeah,
they help. They save people's lives.
That's good.
So Maddie threw out your money.
Yeah. So then I come in. So I'm in the showroom. Steven's on stage. I'm in the showroom. She comes in. I'm like, "Where's the change?" She's like, "Oh, I threw it in the trash." And I go, "Oh no, my money!"
And then they start fighting, and I'm on stage. So I hear in the back of the room 2 people talking loudly.
Oh, this got heated.
Yeah. And everyone can hear it. And I'm like, I know those voices. And so I'm like, hey, you two, I can't think. And I think they're just talking. I didn't know they were fighting.
It wasn't a fight. It was more of me going through this existential crisis of, well, I have to go through the trash.
That made you disbelieve in God?
That's funny. That's the deciding moment on whether or not there is intelligent life out there.
Oh man!
I mean, I don't want to brag, but I've never gone through the trash in my life.
Is that on your resume?
Yeah, so this would be the first for me. And is it going to cost $5?
So I freaked out because I realized that you were going through something when I was going through something.
No, you were going through something. Yeah, right.
So what did you go through the trash?
Oh yeah.
No. Well, she wouldn't tell me which trash can she threw it in, and that kind of like took it off the table. Where I'm like, all right, I don't know. I'm not going through 3 garbage cans.
When I was a kid, I had thank you. Coffee just came from the heavens. Thank you. I had braces, and then when the braces came off, they give you a retainer.
Yeah.
Okay, so at lunch, you can't eat with the retainer. You have to take the retainer off at lunch, and then I would set it in my brown bag, and then wasn't thinking about it, threw the brown bag away. And when you're a kid, you don't know how expensive these things are. It's like a retainer. You had to go to a doctor. I had to go to an orthodontist to get this thing.
You never had to work or have insurance, so you don't know what money is.
Exactly. But all I knew is this isn't good, that I'm not going to go home without my retainer.
Yeah.
So I went up to the teacher and I said, I accidentally threw my retainer away at lunch. And she said, well, you're going to have to get some classmates together. Got like 5 or 6 classmates.
Oh, We're forming a posse.
We formed a posse. And they brought us out to the dumpster.
Oh, no.
I'm not joking.
My God.
Oh, my God.
The dumpster behind the cafeteria, and the 5 of us stood in the dumpster going through every brown bag that was in the dumpster until we found my retainer.
Wow, so you did find it. Wow.
I did find it, yeah.
And he put it in his mouth immediately.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Was that just the smells and wow?
It was not pleasant.
But there was a lot of refuse in there.
There was a lot of refuse. When you said having to go through the trash, I immediately thought of I remember when I had to go through the trash.
I remember that happened one time in grade school too, where one kid threw out his retainer and it was like red alert, like the sirens, the fire alarm went off. Like trash was like being dumped. Everyone's going through it. I mean, I was just watching. I didn't really.
Was the kid attached to it? Why?
It was like Amber Alert.
I see a leg. I hope there's a retainer near this.
I was like, I never seen so much panic and people.
It's like when people used to lose contact lenses, you know?
Oh.
That was like life stopped.
Were they expensive?
It drives me nuts, especially when I lose mine in my eye.
Oh, God.
Oh.
It was, back in the day when they first came out, you would only get a pair. You'd get 2. A right and a left. I don't know why I had to explain what a pair was.
Well,
Andrew was looking at me, and I looked over at Steve like, does he not know what a pair is?
Well, I thought
so. I saw that.
Well, I
saw that in your eye.
No, because I didn't know if they especially made one for your left eye and
sometimes
for the right.
They did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have a right eye contact and a left eye contact.
Oh my God,
they're both prescription. And when you lost one, that was it. Everybody had to look for it. I mean, it would happen on football fields.
Really?
Like a guy would lose his contact on a football field, and they would call timeout, and everybody get on their hands and knees and try to find a contact lens.
Wow.
The whole team?
That was one weird NFL game. That was one weird Super Bowl.
Talk about a halftime show. The band's coming out.
The marching bands.
It's like, we got to find it before this marching band comes out here. It's going to be a disaster.
Oh, no. It's fragile.
Oh, man.
I don't know if they stopped football games, but but they would do it at football practice. I remember looking for my contact at practice and stuff like that.
I used to lose it during swimming practice, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
You don't get it back.
Talk about
but
it.
I didn't have the time where you only get the 2. I had like a whole year's worth. But it'd be in my goggle, and I'd just be swimming a 500 race, and it's just there drying
you can see it? You're looking at your contact.
Oh, my God.
That's the point of the contact, so that I can see other things.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the contact lens itself.
Ew, it's like poking you in the eye?
No, the goggles are big enough that it wasn't against me, but I could see it.
I thought it was like a plate.
You could put a lot of things in your goggles. You could put like a Fanta orange drink in there. You could have
Save
a pen.
that for later.
You could have a pen. Yeah, you could set things in there.
An extra bathing suit.
An extra bathing suit.
Towel.
An ashtray. They're all inside your goggles while you're swimming.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
How we doing?
We're at half hour.
Oh, we're doing great. All right. I want to make sure that we don't mess with
You guys are having anxiety about how much time is left.
Oh, yeah.
Man, all the time.
all the time. We're gonna cut that out.
I'm curious. This is actually an interesting subject, but would you guys aren't experts, I would guess.
No.
But I mean, you're not medical experts on this field. You just enjoy talking about it. But
Right.
wouldn't you find that most people have some degree of anxiety?
Yes.
I mean,
think
it's
it's
like
more-
a human condition, right?
I think it's more popular than ever.
Yeah.
Like
We're
kids
trying to
It's
get it
making
while
a
it's hot.
comeback.
Yeah, kids are bragging about it. Oh, I saw this post on a
funny.
website that said, "I'm the only kid in my class who doesn't have anxiety. I feel left out." And people are writing, "That's fine, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Just relax."
There's a Chad Daniels had a great joke. I worked with him recently. He's like, my daughter was like, I'm the only one in my class without anxiety, and it's making me anxious. And he's like, oh, great, it's airborne now. But yeah, I think it's everybody experiences it. So that's something that we bonded over pretty quickly. Me and him, we were very socially uncomfortable a lot.
Yeah, first we want to do a podcast together because we like each other and everything.
Yeah,
And-
we get along.
And first we did one about historical topics. We'd pick one of those. So we did the history of the guitar. We did one episode of that. But we both got so anxious because we wanted to get all the info out.
Yeah.
And we were just too nervous.
Yeah.
It was just a horrible thing. So
it wasn't good at all.
Did you release it, or did
No.
you just?
No, that's
So there's a version out there of this guitar
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Or a history podcast.
Yeah.
With the first episode being about guitars.
where I'm losing it. I'm like, we didn't talk about the strings. He's like,
It's one of the main pieces.
How did we leave out the strings?
We did like a half hour on straps.
We didn't even get to the hole in the middle of the guitar.
Yeah. So it's something that we bonded over and experienced, and we knew like part of like comedy is like making light of everyday things, and we figured a lot of people are experiencing this now, so we figured we make light of our everyday anxiety.
and there's a lot of podcasts out there that are serious about anxiety. They're like, anxiety is serious and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, who would want to listen to that? That's anxious.
That's a nice way to relax.
Yeah.
Just sit in my bath.
Yeah. Listen to serious facts about anxiety. And how long can you talk about the seriousness of anxiety? So
Right.
every week we have something goofy to
That's
joke
good.
about.
Is there something that makes you anxious more than anything? Do you have like a top?
I have self-diagnosed myself with having line anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
I am incredibly anxious when I have to get into a line.
Me too.
And I have every line scenario set up, and there's so many things about lines that bother me.
Right.
If a line is clear, it doesn't give me anxiety. Once it becomes unclear what the line is and where the line is and where the end of the line is and who
Right.
gets to get in front of the line and that sort of thing, that's when my heart starts kind of pounding.
Yeah, the worst is like there's the order line and then there's the pickup line, but the pickup line isn't a line. It's just like a group of people, and like
Yeah.
like there's like two vague lines going on. I mean, I hate that because
Yeah.
I have to be. We talked about it actually on one of the episodes, but we were both at a Buffalo Wing place, and I was like,
Oh.
"Are you waiting in line?" And the guy was like, "No, I'm waiting to pick up." Like I was an idiot, but
Right.
Yeah.
there's two lines, so
I get like I'm worried about the people behind me in line because I know how much I'm like waiting for the people in front of me. I'm focused on them
Right.
to make sure they're following. So I hold myself to even a higher standard to make sure that I'm not the person that they're angry at, because the people in front of me can make me angry waiting in a line.
Oh man, I have I have bad dreams about lines and stuff like that.
I believe it.
It's a very, very screwy thing because there's so many setups that are unclear that drive me crazy.
Yeah.
I will go to a Wendy's over a McDonald's having nothing to do with the food.
Yes.
I like the fact that they have a very clear snake system.
Yes.
The third person in the store is going to be the third person served.
Yes.
The first is first, the ninth is ninth.
Oh, my God.
Whereas if you go to McDonald's and they got those 6 registers all set up, and you have this, get back to the word amorphous, blob of humans.
It's like the first creature that lived on the earth, the amoeba.
Yeah.
No, that was the cavemen.
It was the caveman.
I get anxiety going into a McDonald's when there's 5 registers and then we're trying to decide, are there 5 different lines?
Yes.
And then you have to guess which line is the better of these lines to get in, and then you get in a line, and a longer line is going quicker than the one you got in.
God, right.
And somebody who came into the store after you did is being served before you. My heart starts pounding.
And the worst is when they open a new register and you're like, oh, God.
Right.
People are just climbing in from all different lines.
I stay in the line I'm in when the new one opens. I stay in that line.
I kind of gauge. It's like a Wild West showdown, you know, like a standoff. Everyone's looking at each other like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
Is this register really open up? And then it's like a dash.
It's like everyone had just saw like a version of, the Virgin Mary just appeared.
Are you seeing this?
And we're like, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Is this a mirage? I'm really thirsty and I've been in the line forever.
Oh, man.
The worst, I'm getting anxious about it now, but when you're in like 3 lanes and then one becomes a turn lane, and then you want to go forward, but you're in the turn lane, so you got to be like, oh, I got to get over. But I didn't even know it was a turn lane from the begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, the signs or the information doesn't come up until too late.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're already locked in this turn thing.
Or if you're coming up to, you're on a road and you want to get onto a highway, and sometimes you're going to loop around to the right to get onto the highway, but every once in a while you're going to make a left to get onto the highway.
Yeah.
You're in an unfamiliar place.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, why don't they have the sign a mile back that has the arrow that it'll be on the left or the right?
Yeah.
It just says exit 1 mile. You got 5 lanes going the same direction. Go, I'm just going to hang in the middle.
Right. Yeah. Play it safe.
And then play it and
That's
then
the
figure out
safest-
which way, if I'm going to the right or I'm going to the left.
But then that's anxious too, because then the one that is the turn lane gets locked down because
Correct.
everyone's waiting to get, and then you got to be like, oh, I'm sorry, can I just get over?
Right,
I'm not really cutting you off, but I
That's exactly it.
The
And
signs
you got
are
people
bad.
looking at you like, what are you trying to muscle in here? And it's
Right.
like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had that. I was driving in the city with Caitlin, and we were running late, so she was already angry, and I'm very anxious about being late. So that's my lines. Like if I'm late, I'm sweating and everything. So I'm driving like around. I'm getting us where we need to go, and then we're at a light, and I see under the truck in front of me that the lane I'm in is a turn only lane. So I get over one lane over, and then she yells at me and says, "You just went into a turn only lane." And now I'm like, I don't know what to do. I know I'm right. I'm late. I'm right, but don't want to fight. And I'm getting yelled at, and I'm in New York City traffic.
Oh God.
So all of that
Converging.
Oh yeah.
That's insane. The first time I grew up in Virginia and I moved to New York to do comedy, and I was driving, and for the first time I get to Lincoln Tunnel, and same thing, like you don't know how this exit, it just appears, and I'm trying to get over, there's a line, and one guy rolls down his window and says, "You never getting in this lane." I was like, oh. I had to drive like all around the city to
Wow.
I had to go to a different tunnel.
Well, actually, one of the New York tunnels, I remember being in line as everybody merged from these different lanes into the tunnel. Only one lane of the tunnel was open. And there were 11 different lanes that looped in and merged into one. So it's like a dogfight.
Yeah.
But in a way, it became easier because it was just rule of the front fender. Once you've muscled up to where your fender is in front of the other guy, you win.
You would think. But
So you don't. You know what I mean? I mean, there is going to be like a game of chicken going on
to try to whose fender gets in the front.
Yeah, exactly. But at least usually somebody's going to give up. You know, once you get 1 inch in front of the other guy, then you win. So
Man. I've been in that situation too, and it is intense. How many cars will go just into one? It's a miracle of like engineering.
When I first moved to New York City, I lived in Queens, and they had that opposite side of the street parking.
Oh God, yeah, we live in Queens now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the deal.
Yeah.
So my landlord said you have to obey it. They will tow your car, the whole thing. So I was like, okay. So the first morning where I realized, I have to move my car because the night before I parked and I knew that I was in the wrong lane for the wrong side of the street for the next morning. So I get up. I had to set my alarm for 7 a.m. or whatever it was. I get in my car, and I'm driving around, and I see a spot on the correct side where I can park. And this old man, about 70 years old, in his Fruit of the Loom underwear, nothing else on.
No robe
Just
or anything?
Nothing. Just his underwear, ran out of the front door as I'm pulling up to the spot, hobbling like he was this old guy. And stood in the spot where I was going to park and said, "This is for my son.
Oh,
get the hell out of here!"
Oh my God!
And I'm like, "Damn, this is like morning parking wars."
Yeah,
it really is.
Parking stresses me out like no other, to the point where I have had Caitlin switch seats with me and park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if you do it enough times, you're like, I'm thinking about people looking at me. I'm getting angrier and more stressed out. Was I wrong about the measurements?
Let me ask you what your guys' opinion on this. But this happened like 2 days ago, where I saw a spot, I stopped, put my reverse on, and then a guy pulled further and reversed into the spot. You know, like I realized it too late, but I had my reverse lights on.
Wait, you're going to parallel park?
I'm going to parallel park.
So you go past.
I go past
the
spot. So I pass the spot. I'm like, oh, that's a spot. So I slam on the brakes. I hit in reverse, and then a guy pulls up and then backs in because he had just enough room to pull up right to my bumper and then pull into the spot.
Yeah, I feel like that was yours.
I've seen it. I saw it happen just a couple weeks ago where somebody pulled up ahead. It was an older couple where you have to back in to parallel park.
Yeah.
And this young girl in a smaller like sports car thing just zipped in behind them. Like her car fit without having to parallel park.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So she just zipped in there.
Oh my God.
And I'm watching go, I got to see how's this going to shake out?
Get a box of popcorn.
How's this going to shake out?
Did they run out in their underwear?
So the car that was there first paused. They backed up to where now they're next to the girl who had parked. Mm-hmm. And I could, they were like pointing and stuff. The girl, she acted like she truly didn't know. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't know." And they moved up, and then the girl did leave, and then they parallel parked in there, which wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting her to go tough luck.
Yeah. Screw you. Yeah.
But if you're parallel parking, the guy that goes there first is the one who has the right of way.
Well, you would think in the alternate side war, it's like every man for themselves. Every Fruit of the Loom old guy for themselves.
This isn't something that I'm proud of, but that's why they invented violence. That's why they invented violence, because some people are going to react violently. Yeah. You shouldn't. I'm not telling anybody out there that they should.
Right, that's true.
But I used to feel like about road rage. Wow, people shouldn't have road rage. I think 99% of people should not have road rage.
Right.
But you need for it to exist.
Right.
Fear
to curb bad behavior. You need the jerks out there to know somebody out here might have road rage.
Yes, exactly.
And if I act like an idiot, I might be doing it in front of the guy who's just going to go off his rocker.
Yeah. That's why I would never take somebody's spot like that, because I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be the guy with the cricket bat in his trunk.
People thinking that they're invincible and everything's for them is how where that comes into play.
Right.
That's where you learn. And then I do not want to learn that. So I
play
am
it safe.
clear with my mortality.
New Yorkers are very good about lines. I've always felt that people don't cut line in New York because New Yorkers are tough.
Yeah.
And they're not going to put up with it. So
Right.
when I lived in New York City, I found that the line system was fair. Like if you're in a drugstore and stuff
Absolutely.
like that, everybody's looking at each other
Yeah.
like, this is what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
And I never saw anybody cross that in New York. It's when
Yeah.
you get out to where people might be meeker or less aggressive that you get your jerks that take advantage of that.
Yeah, the first time I saw somebody cut in line in New York, the smallest, oldest woman was like, "Hey, you, the blind's back here." And then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he got out. She jumped right in. I was so relieved. I'm like, "Thank you, old woman."
Thank you, elderly woman.
I couldn't say it myself, but
We have to wrap up soon. So I wanted to ask one of the stories I know of yours that is the most anxiety-ridden story I've ever heard. And that's when you were driving home.
Well, it's a long story.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm concerned about.
I know,
Is that
crap.
It's like a
Yeah.
it's like a half-hour story.
Oh, God.
what? Oh
No.
man!
But you know what?
We just talked about parking. We could have.
Yeah.
You know what? I would love to do this again. How's that?
Okay, that'd be great.
I'll come back and
we'll
I'll
leave
and,
a cliffhanger.
and I will tell the story. I know what when you're talking about.
Yeah, that is long.
Well, do you have a shorter?
No.
anxious-
Well,
No.
the short version of it is
No,
I
not the
went
short
into a
version.
hospital
Okay.
to smother some people to death.
Oh, great.
And that's like, and I was so nervous because it's immoral, it's against the law.
Right. I mean, there's
But
consequences.
that's why they
sometimes.
There's
invented violence.
consequences. Oh boy. That one sentence is going to be the one that takes me
Well,
down.
we can
Going,
get-
why would you make light of? I was
no.
joking. It was a complete gag.
Yes.
I didn't actually do that.
We know that.
Yeah.
Everyone
No, I know
knows.
you guys know that.
Talking-
Your listeners. You have the worst listeners in the world.
Dude,
I'm talking to them.
but yeah, they're the anxious people. They will
Yeah.
never
They're-
talk about it. They stay in their basements.
All right.
Hey, no Big Mac. That's- oh my God.
Ready?
Do we have to wrap up now?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got some editing to do on this one, buddy.
That
Well,
was
do we-
note. That was a note for me.
Do we
Yeah.
have?
There's usually a meet and greet.
Oh,
Not usually, but often. And they had one scheduled for me for tonight, but he just held up a note that said no big M&G, meaning no big meet and greet.
Oh.
So I think what he was saying is it's not as a pressure time situation as we would have thought.
Okay.
Does that mean we can do your anxious story after or no? Or No.
I would rather hold off.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That one's so good. I know that this is going to drive the listeners nuts, but but it's going to get him back by popular demand.
oh, cool.
It's a great story, and I don't want to. It will. They will hear it eventually.
But what if your listeners? What if your listeners are like, please don't ever bring that guy back.
no.
Please. We didn't like anything he said. Come on. We weren't entertained by him in any way.
This is the most fun we've had in a while.
And whatever story he wants to tell, we know we don't want to hear it.
No. Yeah.
yeah.
That would be par for the course.
No. We love you. Thank you for doing this.
Well, is
My
there
pleasure.
like a 3-minute
No.
story? Okay.
We've been
No,
we've,
not a 3-minute
I will say
version
this.
of that story.
It had to do.
No, I don't want to hear about the story. But
Oh.
maybe there's like a 3-minute smaller story.
Oh, that we can wrap up on.
Yeah, to end on.
Have you ever had a panic attack?
I don't know exactly how that would be defined.
Right.
But I've had very tense situations. How about this? I use Hertz Gold, right? So that's when you go to an airport.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
yeah, the rental car.
Your spot is where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right? It says your name, and then there's a spot number. So
Yeah.
I go to, I read my name, and I see the spot number. I go to the car, and it's not the car. I had my kids with me, the whole thing. It wasn't the exact car that I had picked, but I thought this will work just fine. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
So I get in the car. We put all the suitcases in the car. La da 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 da. We're leaving the Hertz thing, and the person before they open up the thing, said, this isn't the car you're supposed to be in. I said, well, this is the car that was in the spot.
Yeah.
They said, well, this isn't your car.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, this is your mistake. I said, I'm fine with this car, and they said, no. You have to go back in and get in line and get the correct car.
All the
now,
time.
the whole point of Hertz Gold is that you don't have to be in line to begin with.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
or be accused of anything.
Right.
yeah, I'm accused of theft.
I'm doing the car. I'm in the car that had the number that you guys put.
Yeah, you did everything right.
So I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm fine with this car. Whatever the difference, if there's a difference in price or whatever, I'm happy to pay it.
Anything but the line.
Yeah. And they were like, no, and they won't let me out. Like they won't put the barrier up. She said, I'm sorry, I'm not letting you out. You have to go get in line, go back and get in line and get the correct car. Now I'm fuming. This is
I could see it.
This is not my mistake. This is not my error.
That's
right. And you're making me go correct this. So I had to go over to where this Hertz center was. I'm walking in thinking there better not be a big line. I walk in, sure enough, there's like 35 people in this snake line.
All the airplanes let out at once.
Oh, no.
Like I'm ready to. I was in my car ready to go to the hotel.
You were
with my
so
kids.
close.
So I walk in. I see there are 35 people in this big snake line, and I'm already fuming. And I'm like, I'm not standing in this line. And I yelled at the top of my lungs, I'm not happy. Absolute truth.
Did anyone look at you? Did everyone look at you?
Everyone.
Who didn't look at him?
Everyone looked at me. And I saw the Hertz people look at each other like, we have a red alert situation.
Yeah. It's like, this is retainer level.
We have a red alert situation. This guy just entered our building, and the first thing out of his mouth was an "I'm not happy."
I imagine everyone in that line going, "We could have done that."
right. Now I've given it away. How to be the next person in line.
I thought he was happy. I thought he was happy we made him go back.
So I saw the Hertz people look at each other. They went in the back and got some special representative that deals with I'm not happy people.
He's like, "Hi, I'm Tom Hertz."
And the guy came up to me and just brought me off to a different part of the building, away from everybody else. Talked me down,
like you do with psychopaths.
Yeah, exactly. The guy was so good at what he did. Like, all he did was validate everything.
Wow.
That's the trick.
And it just kept bringing me down. I said, and I was explaining, he goes, "You're right, sir. It was our mistake. We're going to take care of this." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm mad." "Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for being mad."
I know.
I got the car on the spot. "Yes, that shouldn't have been on the spot." Like, he just kept yesing me. Or like I just kept deflating. I just kept deflating.
Right.
And then he finally worked it out, and I left.
Well,
That's
at least,
great.
yeah. At least they didn't fight you, because
that's a Hertz copper situation where they fight you.
Yeah, right. I hate when they choose to fight you.
Yeah. What are you doing, Hertz?
They put on brass knuckles.
Yeah, every once in a while, that's what they do. They wink over at the door, and a guy with brass knuckles comes out and just starts pounding you in the face.
"I'm not happy." "Well, I'm looking for something to do."
"Well, you're really not going to be happy after this."
Wow. Man.
That's great.
Thank you so much for being on, Brian.
Oh, of course.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you,
we
guys.
really appreciate it, and we'd love to have you back.
Thank you.
Of course.
You're going to get a lot of tweets asking for the story, so we'll...
now the story, there's no way the story's going to live up to
no.
It's great.
It's a half hour. It's going to be... It's like an opera.
We're excited.
No, I'm saying it's a half hour, and it'll be like a 3-minute story. I'm going to have anxiety from now until I tell the story.
Man, well, thank you for being on. And is there anything you want to plug before we go? Anything?
I have a new pamphlet coming out.
Oh, do you?
Oh, great.
Yeah,
great.
I have a new pamphlet.
Yeah.
A lot of our listeners are big pamphlet fans.
Yeah, this is the Pamphlet Podcast.
I mean, it's not ready yet, but we're in talks.
Yeah, how many pages are you at right now?
It's one of those open up.
Oh, the fold?
Yeah, like a fold thing.
Yeah.
It'll have my name on it.
They give those away at Hertz.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I got the idea.
I think I know the title.
That's where I got the idea when I was getting pounded in the face with brass knuckles.
Oh man! Well, this has been fun. What a great first guest!
Oh my God, you're the first.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man.
And stay tuned for the plugs. And thanks again, Brian.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
All right.
My heart starts beating really fast.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the episode.
Really appreciate all the support. If you like the podcast, please share it. Tell all your friends. Give us a high rating. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. And we're on social media. I'm at Not Steve Rogers on Instagram and Twitter. Steven Rogers Comedy on Facebook and StevenRogersComedy.com.
And I am on Twitter, Chavone, SCHIAVONE. And on Instagram, I'm Andrew Chavone, same spelling as before. On Facebook, I'm Andrew.Chavone. And my website is AndrewChavone.com.
Perfect. Thanks for listening, and see you next week, guys.
See you next week.